Hey, so it's been like a week since I made my last video, just because I've been really busy, and obviously last weekend I was in Mont Michel and Malo. I had such a nice time just getting away from Paris and going away to Malo and Mont Michel this past weekend. It was so nice to be like by the ocean, by the coast, and in Malo. We were all tired because we had to take the train early, and we just laid out on this like the edge of the fort wall actually, and just like suntanned and watched the sunset. It was just so nice and relaxing. I really liked both places because they were really different than Paris. Paris has those wide streets and all those really, wonderful sights, but like these places were smaller, and Saint Malo reminded me of Quebec City a bit. And actually, Jacques Cartier is from Saint Malo, so that's kind of cool. It was really interesting seeing how the tides changed so much, and how at some points where we were walking was just like raging waters. Like the pictures we saw, they're just like splashing up over the edge of the fort, just onto the streets, and just crazy. That's in Saint Malo. And then in Mont Michel, the water also comes up a lot higher, but it's more of flat plain, so you can't always notice the level of the water changing so much. Although sand pictures, it's a lot of quicksand and mud and clay all mixed in together, and you can walk out. I heard someone say you can walk out 18 kilometers sometimes, and so that's really far. So I'll probably just show you some pictures of Saint Malo and Mont Michel right now. Here we are on the TGV, just looking at some of the French countryside. Kind of reminds me of Canada.
That would be such a good talk on that.
Yeah. So this whole beach area here that I'm showing you is just like underwater, like in the ocean when the tide is high, all the way up to the wall that we were standing on. And we went close to the water, and there's actually some people swimming, and we saw some like man running on the beach with a Speedo. It was funny.
I'm going in!
All those little bumps on the beach are little sandballs. It's weird. The water goes right up to where those wooden posts are and right up over it. And that fort is an island when the tide is high. This is underwater when the ocean is up. And this is the cute little village inside the walls. These are all little islands. This is kind of near where we suntanned for a while. This pool is filled by the ocean, and when the tide is high, it's just completely covered, even the diving board. Okay, watch for someone diving off this diving board.
An outdoor swimming pool in the ocean. I'm here at Mont Michel, and there's usually water here when the tide is high. And it is very windy and cold.
So like the whole beach is just made up of clay, and there's tons of people like walking out into the sand banks and stuff, but a lot of them were on guided tours, so they wouldn't sink in the quicksand. And this is a view of the island from behind, and that is looking down onto a little circular thing where all the people are standing, and that's looking down onto the village from inside. Looking out into the sand and water. It's just cute little shops in the inside of the Mont Michel. And there it is, the big picture. Sometimes the water is coming right up. I'm also excited because at the end of the month, I've pretty sure that I'm going to London for 2 days. I'm going up to the Yorkshire area to visit my cousins, so that will be a nice break from France. I think I'll buy some English books there. So the trains in France, they're super on time. Like you have to catch them. Like if it says it leaves at 8:35, it leaves at 8:35. So if you're not on the train, you're missing it. And they're really fast. The TGV, train de grande vitesse, go up to 300 kilometers an hour on some lines. So that's really fast. You can get to the south in Montpellier in about like 3 hours, and it's a 10-hour drive. So it's really fast and so much better than in Canada. The trains in France are actually better than the trains in England because the French government's like invested more money in their high-speed train network than in England. So only the Eurostar is a high-speed train. That's what Mireille told me. So on Wednesday, I went and walked in a forest about 30 minutes away from Vincennes. And I went with Mireille and Abel, and we actually looked for mushrooms. Obviously, I would not touch a mushroom. So I found some. I actually found one that was poisonous, and they picked it. And I found one that you could eat, and it was really big, and so they were super excited. So I guess I'm pretty much an expert at mushroom picking. I found out that the Paris, like the central area of Paris, is like 9 by 11 kilometers. It's like super small. Yeah, so you can pretty much walk the whole thing, but obviously the metro is easier, and with all the crazy streets and stuff, it'd probably take you forever. Oh, I did find a British store and that sells like British food. So I bought some British chocolate, and it was very good, and I was happy. It also had like Dr. Pepper and stuff like that. It was funny. I have also been keeping updated on the Sens, and I just got internet in my studio, finally. And I unfortunately saw that Heatley was doing so awesome, but I still love him, so that's cool. And the Sens are also doing good, so that is also good news. And the Leafs are still sucking, so that is even better news. Oh yeah, okay, one last thing about school. So I started school, and it's going well. My reading and like vocabulary is a lot higher than a lot of people in my class. But my grammar is like the same level or worse because obviously I'm really sucky at French grammar. But it's really interesting because there's like people from Norway and Germany and Colombia. But it's hard because if someone doesn't know a word, you can't just like say it in English. School isn't bad. It's just 2 hours, 3 times a week. So just 6 hours, which is really nothing. And we have like one tiny page of homework each class. The only thing that's annoying is it takes me like an hour to get there and an hour to get back because I have that 20-minute walk there. So I'm still waiting to get a bank account in France so I can finally open, so I can finally get like a bike pass, which would be so much better because then like biking is like so much quicker than walking, obviously. Well, I hope you enjoyed those pictures. I will talk to you later. Bye.